In the biggest move of the NFL before the draft, all signs point to Lynch joining the Raiders. The deal is reportedly for 2 years, with $3 million coming this year, plus incentives. This is huge since it solves the power running back problem. There are concerns about his health and abilities after taking a year off, but overall, I love this move. The Raiders get a hometown hero to play for Oakland, and that will bring fans to the seats. In other news, Reuben Foster's draft stock seems to have dipped a little bit. He seems like a surefire top 10 pick entering the offseason. He has a diluted drug test during the combine, and there are questions about his shoulder. Overall, everything seems to have cleared up, and I don't think he's going to drop too much, and there's no way he's dropping to the Raiders. He's too talented, and I think he'll be drafted by pick number 15. Jabril Peppers has a diluted drug test. Even though the NFL treats it as a failed drug test, let's keep in mind diluted doesn't mean he actually did drugs. It seems like he drank excessive water from being sick and has no history of drug problems. Therefore, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now. As for the draft, he was such a huge wild card that he was mocked all over the board. He certainly dipped, but I still don't know where in the draft he'll go. Recently, Gareon Conley has a rape accusation. By all accounts of people who were there, it doesn't seem like Conley did anything wrong. I don't want to jump to conclusions and take rape accusations lightly, but the fact that this all comes out before the draft seems strange. Conley is going to be a millionaire soon, and I think that woman just wants some money. If this turns out to be a situation similar to Ezekiel Elliott's last year, then I feel sorry for Conley. His stock might have dropped, and he didn't do anything wrong. Again, nothing is official yet, and we should wait for the facts to come out. It's just weird the timing of this accusation. The Niners are reportedly interested in drafting a quarterback in the first round at pick number 2. That's a mistake in my mind. This draft is very top-heavy, and the quarterbacks are considered low first-round talents. They would miss out on an impact player and would instead get a much less talented player who needs development. That being said, until you have a quarterback, you should get a quarterback, and they don't want to miss out. I personally don't like any of these quarterbacks. I'd rather have a player like Jamal Adams than try and trade back into the first round to get one. Brian Hoyer is a decent quarterback who can hold down the fort until that quarterback develops. The Browns are reportedly looking to trade up to get Trubisky. Again, I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft. I think the Browns saw what happened with Wentz last year and want a quarterback of their own. Trubisky needs a year to develop, but has all the tools. I would personally stay at 12 and draft Deshaun Watson instead. But if Trubisky ends up being the man, then it's all worth it. And now we're on to Raiders news. They are reportedly interested in running back Joe Mixon. This is surprising to me since Mark Davis has long had a zero-tolerance policy for domestic violence. I personally don't want Mixon on the Raiders. There's no question about his talent, but we can probably get another back who can play, but with a lot less baggage. In Reggie McKenzie's pre-draft press conference, he was about as non-committal as you might expect. The only thing worth noting is that he said, quote, "We're going to get us a couple linebackers. I hope at some point before we play in September, whether they're in the draft, post-draft, or trade, or somebody gets released." This is no surprise since outside of Bruce Irvin, and maybe Khalil Mack if you count him as a linebacker, there are no viable options for inside linebacker. Jelani Jenkins isn't expected to be much more than a backup, so the linebacker core is bare. Perry Riley Jr. is still available, but I think he's going to be more of a backup option and likely won't be signed until training camp. And now we're on to my prediction for the first round. I don't see McKenzie choosing an inside linebacker since he doesn't value that position very highly, and I don't see them selecting a cornerback since this class is so deep and value can be had in the second round. Therefore, I'm going with defensive lineman Malik McDowell from Michigan State. He has all-pro talent, and we need help along that defensive line. But let's keep in mind, the draft is unpredictable and anything can happen. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the draft. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah.